The school day may end around 3 o'clock, but for parents, that's often when the real juggling act starts to begin. Between sports and clubs and after school care and homework, it can all be overwhelming. And so Jeanine Bobenmoyer from the City Moms joins me with practical ways to build an after school routine that actually works for your family. Hello to you, Jeanine.
Hi, Erin. Thanks so much for having me. I know that time of day at my house is like just craziness. So hopefully these tips are going to help a lot of our viewers today.
Yes, indeed. Well, parents feel so much pressure to sign their kids up for everything. I think that's where it starts. So, where should families actually start as far as looking at after school activities?
Yeah, so my biggest piece of advice is give yourself those first couple of weeks after school starts to really kind of ease into your schedule and actually also figure out and kind of gauge what your kiddo needs. Those are going to be the busiest weeks because they're adjusting to school, they're adjusting to new friends, they're adjusting to teacher, a new routine. So if you can give yourself a couple of weeks before really diving into afternoon activities, that's definitely my biggest piece of advice. However, I know that's not always practical. Those registration lists come out so quickly, it feels like every year. So, whatever you can do to just kind of give yourself some space to breathe is definitely going to help quite a bit.
I like that tip for sure, but you're right about the registration list. At least know if they're filling up or not for sure. You also recommend waiting a couple of weeks before actually committing. Do you think that's a smart move? You were kind of dabbling that in that just a bit just then.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, often we do see that schools and activities are going to have a registration deadline that's a little bit after kind of those school start dates. And I think that that's really smart. Again, letting your kiddo just kind of feel out that routine is going to be really critical. Now, I do love school clubs though, Erin, because that's a really good way for them to continue getting acclimated to class and to school and to new friends. But often school clubs are going to give them sort of like a low entry point into things like robotics, maybe art, maybe scouts. And it's just a really nice way to sort of feel out if that's something that they're going to like and want to commit to for the year.
Right. Okay, so how can parents tell if their child really actually needs an activity or they just need downtime after school?
I know. Okay, so you're going to probably be able to gauge that really quickly once kids come home. A lot of energy is normally kind of being bottled up throughout the school day because, the way that obviously our system works with school, they're going to be sitting to learn a little bit throughout the day. They're going to have those recess or those other kind of breaks throughout the day. But if you have a kiddo that's coming home and has a lot of energy, that is definitely going to be the perfect one to get signed up for some of those activities. But you want to be thinking about balance and not just busyness.
There you go. I like that. Balance instead of busyness. That we
Yeah,
need to put that on a t-shirt for
I
sure.
know, right?
But, but tell me, once parents decide to add those activities, what are some great options to consider?
Okay, I have some fun ones for you. Obviously, Dallas is just coming off the World Cup and being a host city. So, lots and lots of fun soccer leagues are around right now. And maybe build on that really fun World Cup feel. Get your kiddo signed up for a soccer league. Pickleball has been so huge, not only for adults, but also for kids. And we're seeing a lot of clubs that are, or leagues that are coming through park systems. So pickleball is a good one. But my secret favorite, not just football, but flag football. There are tons of leagues around right now. I have a hot tip, which is RCX Sports is the governing league for the NFL flag football leagues for youth. Great to pop on there. They still have a lot of their fall league registration going on right now. So that is a really, really good one to get your kids into. Plus, it's the nice thing is, you're not getting into that contact sport just necessarily yet. Still gets them kind of accustomed to a lot of the league rules, though.
Nice. We love a local recommendation for sure. Let me ask you this because flag football and other sports, scouts, all the things, they do require practice and sometimes
Yeah.
every afternoon. And so, what can parents do at home to help their kids reset after school?
Okay, so I'm a big fan. My kids and I have always been big fans setting up our own obstacle course at home, really just to kind of help them burn off some energy. Think about like a quick 5-minute reset after school, and also before they get into homework. So. Fisher Price actually just launched a new Your Way collection, and it's all focused on kind of imaginative play, sort of a lot of those things that we used to love as kids. This is one of their setups where it's just like a little basketball hoop at home. I love that it has a net that contains all the balls so that I don't have to go running around cleaning those up. But setups. They've got a great balance beam that you can set up for the kids. Just let them kind of run off some steam. A fort building system. My teenager loved building this, which I was really kind of surprised by. But it's so fun just to kind of put a fort together. And then last, floor is lava. Always going to be a fan favorite. So they have these little pods that you can just kind of spread out throughout the floor and have kids jump from one spot to another. But obstacle course, always going to be a good way to kind of just burn off some of that energy at the end of the school day.
Can you tell me, because I mean, all of these sound so simple.
Yeah.
How does this truly help the whole evening run more smoothly when you enact things like fort making or obstacle
Yeah.
courses?
Yeah, I mean, it just helps kind of break that routine from school of just kind of sitting and listening. It gets them in that imaginative play area that I think all of us remember when we were kids, because this is what we were really surrounded by. And my big favorite is it keeps them off devices. So it's just a
Yes.
nice way to sort of give them a little space to feel imaginative and to also just kind of burn off some of that just bottled up energy from the day.
These are such good tips indeed, Jeanine, this morning. Can you remind us where we can find you for so much more? Because you've already got local recommendations. You're giving them out this
Yeah.
morning. Where can we find
Yeah.
more?
Absolutely. Find us at thecitymoms.org. We also live on Instagram at the City Moms. And if you ever have any other questions, ways we can help you, just feel free to DM us.
Very, very good. Jeanine, thank you so much for being here this morning, and thank you for the great information as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Erin. Good to see you.